Here. Today we'll be taking a look into your chances of severe weather for the next couple of days. Now, I know it's been a while. Yes, I just feel like I just need a break for sure because severe weather's been really active for the past couple weeks. Um, and I can tell everybody else just doesn't really want to track them that much because it's just so much going on, and we have another moderate risk today, as you can see here. But there is some good news about today for the SPC. Now, let's go ahead and take a look into it. Like I said, there's a moderate risk for portions of Illinois, good chunk of northern Missouri, and also portions of Kansas, though with an enhanced risk stretching back down into Oklahoma and the surrounding that moderate risk. We got another hot spot, which is out of Pennsylvania, and a portions of New Jersey. If we look into your hail threat, got a large area of a 45%, especially with that significant. So we can see some pretty large hail. Got a 30% out into the central northeast. Damaging winds, very similar situation. We can see some Boeing segments going along there. Here's your tornado threat. Earlier this morning, there was a 15% for portions of Missouri and Kansas. Now that's been downgraded to 10%. But there is still a significant chance of a strong tornado. Which is hope we don't have another one today like we did last night in Dayton, Ohio. Which they got hit by 2 tornadoes. Which I did not know about. It's going to go into day 2. Day 2, got another chance of severe weather for tomorrow. For pretty much very similar areas, but we got enhanced risk for portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. Got another area, again, for very similar areas in the northeast. Got a slight risk extending in between it. Won't be too surprised if you see that slight risk extend a little bit more further to the south. We could see an enhanced risk connection going on here. Now let's go ahead and take a look into the models here. Here's the NAIA model with the jet stream. As you can see here, the trough is still there. But if we go into Wednesday here, we're not looking much for not much of any strong winds up in the atmosphere, but we do have some strong winds over out into the plains there. As you can tell here, starts to flatten out some, so we can see a stationary front going on across from the Ohio Valley back into the plains. But the severe weather threat's actually a little bit lower, though. If we go on to day 3, we got some good news. It's only a marginal risk on day 3, which goes to further very similar areas into the northeast, and actually not in the plains this time. So you can see here, you got some pretty strong winds up into the atmosphere there. If we look at dew points, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid for very similar areas. Now, the reasoning why we've been getting all this is there's a ridge into the southeast, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So here we go into pretty much on Wednesday. We got 70s as your hot spot for severe weather. It's a pretty large area. Northeast, not so much into 70s, but as you go further out west, we got some pretty good dew points going on there. If we go ahead and take a look into your sign-in and Cape, and here we go for tomorrow, I should say. So your sign-in values, all I do know is you don't want that. You need that so severe will be prevented. There's some good news for Indiana and Ohio tomorrow. There is some sign-in around. K values are a little bit lower. As you go a little bit further to south, like in Kentucky, got some pretty good values up around 3,000. If you go back out west, some pretty high values of 4,500. If we go into the Cape and Shear values, however, and here you go onto your Wednesday here, we got some pretty good values up here, but with the cyan around, it's not going to be too great. But if you go here further to the south, that's where I'm suggesting the best chance of severe weather. Basically, just from Virginia to West Virginia into Kentucky, all the way back down into Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and southern Missouri, and Illinois as well. I don't think Indiana and Ohio would not see much of severe weather. I think it's a similar situation for Pennsylvania because, the fact the cyan's around, I think we can see a downgrade for Pennsylvania. Let's go into your strength index here. We got some really high values up into Indiana and Illinois. A pretty similar situation if you go a little bit further to the south, -5. We'll go to your low and mid-level lap rates here. I don't think we won't see much of an issue because I know last time I checked, low-level lap rates was not going to be a problem. But, like I said, Indiana and Ohio, you're not looking, your low-level lap rates isn't great at all. There is some good higher values to the north, but, however, I think we can only see a marginal risk. I don't think we won't see too much severe weather happening, but if you go to Kentucky, you're talking about 9 Celsius, 9 degrees Celsius. There we go. 10 degrees Celsius on the East Coast, which is pretty high. Mid-level lap rates, however, back this up. Here we go to the afternoon. We got some pretty good values in Ohio, so it could be a little bit more of a morning fret. If you go further south into Kentucky, it's around 7. If we go back into Texas here, pretty much around 7. You need to be above 7 for severe weather category, which there is a few spots that's reaching to that point. Let's look at into your EHI here. Whoops, went up too far. Here we go. Here's your general idea. We got some pretty good EHI values, well, decent values. Into Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. Helicity values, not going to be too much of a player in this from the NAM suggestion. Last time I checked, it was not that much around, but till now, it seems like the values have gone up some. Seeing values reaching near 200 for some spots. We got what really helicity is. It's just a vertical wind shear. When you get a vertical wind shear in the atmosphere, you're talking about pretty strong wind gusts on the surface. So if you got quite a bit of helicity around, like in Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, back down to Oklahoma, Texas, you got more of a damage wind threat. It's a similar situation in Pennsylvania as well. Now let's look into the supercell composite here. Here's tonight. Pretty high values in Pennsylvania and Ohio. 11 out here in Kansas and Oklahoma. Seeing some pretty high values. Seems that the NAM disagrees with severe weather in Missouri and Illinois. But it's pretty much happening at this point. So, first time I've seen NAM disagree with something like it is right now. But it does push a little bit eastward though. Here you go into your Wednesday evening here. We got some enhanced to moderate values along the Ohio River. We do have some stripes of enhanced to moderate as well. Back into Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. We click on some forecast soundings to take a look into it. See what we got here. Okay, so we got very strong downdraft here going on here. So that's a lot of helicity going on around. Your equinox is pretty high. Severe hail, however, though, is not much of a match, but I think we'll see some of that. Your K value is 3,300. Potential hazard type is a tornado from your photograph. Let's take a look into a different forecasting. Let's go over the Ohio River here. There's a 7 there. Let's see here. Not too much of a wave of downdraft here, what this forecasting is showing. Lower, your K value still pretty high at the surface was 3,600. That's pretty much where your low level vibrates are pretty high at. Your shear 31. We can have some severe hail threat in there as well. So we could see some damaging winds along here. You can tell about near the surface it starts to go down. Well, we even see some a little bit downward kind of thing in around 9 kilometers up into the atmosphere. Now, let's take a look at 2 significant tornado, which I haven't really checked on this, though. You see here, fairly isolated. There is a little bit of a higher value in the Kentucky and Ohio border. It's a very similar spot here as well. Potential hazard type is a tornado. It's still got decent K values, 3,300, some severe hail involved. A little bit more of a damaging wind threat as it's gone vertical. Here's your equinox is pretty high as well. So really, where I'm looking at is the best chance for severe weather. It's looking to be, actually, there's actually some higher valleys into the middle of the night. That's going to be an issue. Let's take a look at that. A 4.1. Actually looks better. I'm being honest with you. Even though the Cape Valley itself is actually pretty low on the surface, just about 1,000. But wherever you look over here at this graph here, we got very strong damaging winds. They're going a little bit less horizontal. They're kind of going downward. So that could be something else there. Let's see what the name suggests of precipitation here. As you can see here, there's a damaging wind threat. Here, there's a 45% in this area. We do have a little bit of a bowling segment going on there on the Iowa-Illinois border. Got some scattered severe and strong storm activity in Ohio, Pennsylvania there. That starts to dissipate. And when we go into Wednesday, things start to fire up a little bit. But what the name's suggesting here, not too much of in a way of activity. In these models here, what I've seen, does not do a good job with scatter activity here. So let's go into a little bit of a high res here. So here's Thursday, pretty much at midnight here. We do have some severe weather going on out on the plains. Got some severe weather going on in Indiana and Ohio. Not really nothing to the south there, so there may not be enough moisture to go along with. But like I said, these models do not do a good job of showing scattered showers and thunderstorm activity. Even though this is high res, it still does not do a good job. And where I'm seeing most ingredients in place is here. I'll show you where I'm seeing the best chance of severe weather real quick. You know what? Red's fine. It's really in this area here in particular. It's where I'm seeing some of the best chances of severe weather. Right in there. That's something I can agree on right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on. See, so what's going to happen here? So this is week 1, 168 hours out. You see your high pressure here over Florida starts to weaken, and your trough really starts to come in out from the west that's been sticking around there for a while. Then it's just kind of a mess, but there is some cooler air going on around here. We got ridge starting to build again over in California, so, and that kind of really sticks around there, and maybe a trough will start to develop on week 4 up into the northeast. So there is some good news for the southeast. We've been hot and dry for a while. We actually need rain, and for at least a year, we had too much rain. It's been above average most of all last year, except for 1 month, and that's only average, and that was July. That month was just average. The rest of the months last year were above average. Precipitation, we even hit records as well. So yeah, there is some good news coming. We're going to have a cool down for the southeast, and some rain chances to come in to bring the drought well, what I'm trying to say is make the drought go away some more. So yeah, this is all good for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed this severe weather update and kind of a U.S. forecast at the end here. Just kind of gives you an idea. If you're in a ridge, it's basically hot and dry. If you're in a trough, it's pretty much cool and wet. If you're in between, you got severe weather. Basically, what do you get here? And at least the planes do get a break from all this. Now, if you do like this video, hit that like button. If you really like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you got any questions, go ahead and put in the comment section down below. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.